Good evening, ladies, Jennifers, and my lovely NBs. We are here live at the FBA Finals in Game 1 at Treasure State Arena, where the Montana Howlers will be going up against the Tennessee Moonshiners. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How you doing, dude?
I'm stoked to be here right now. We have a great final ahead of us. We got two teams from opposite sides of the conferences, and honestly, the stories for both teams could not be more different here tonight.
You can say that again. For Montana, you already know they had the best record in the conference, and they pretty much handled their business throughout the entire playoffs. Really not having to deal with any sort of game seven whatsoever during their time in their playoff runs. Meanwhile, for the Moonshiners, it has been underdog story here for those that are down south. And I mean, it's been a magical time being able to beat the second seed in five, being able to beat the third seed in six, and then beating the number one seed in a full on 7 game series. These guys are battle tested.
Well, not just that, but let's talk history. Montana, look above you, 9 championship banners. While looking at Tennessee, when we head over to their arena, you're only going to see one. Theirs last came in 2013. It hasn't been that long. Montana's been on a bit of a drought for a while here, but they're the first team that could potentially raise up that 10th banner here.
Yeah, that's gonna be an exciting time for any long term Howler fans who have seen their ups and downs for the teams up north. And I gotta say, if they're able to do this, that'll be a very legendary time to really say that you are a franchise with 10 titles to your name. Like that's completely unheard of here in the sports world.
Yeah, I believe Huntsville's the one that comes closest after uh, Tennessee, and that definitely came due to the Healy. I can't remember his name. Era. The 6 years in a row, one player essentially carrying them to it. They're at 9 as well. The Haley Summers era. Thank you. Uh, they're talking to my ear now. But they're also
Yeah.
so close to hitting that 10th mark, and I think Huntsville fans are probably rooting for Tennessee here tonight, even though they might have been the ones to eliminate them in that first round upset.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that the big thing here is that even though that you can see the two um how both these teams came in as the 1 seed and the 7th seed, you might as well throw that out the window because of how well Moonshine has been able to play against their opponents when it comes to the higher seedings. But as of course, as we're talking about this, everybody is just screaming at the top of their lungs, and we're seeing both players on both of their sides getting ready to line up. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get the FBA Finals on the way as the Howlers do get the win, and we get a quick lay-in from Cross, and that's one way to open up this series as they're already up 2-0. Very fast possession there for the Howlers.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, you talked about Tennessee, the way they've shown themselves in these 3 series. Keep in mind, they've never had home court advantage. They've had to win on the road. So Howlers having home court advantage really does not seem like that big of a deal because we've seen Tennessee overcome it multiple times. You can't rely on it here.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, the Howler fans are probably one of the rowdiest fans in the FBA as a whole. So the Tennessee's gonna have to get prepared for that, and they are pretty amped in trying to, match that energy and quiet that noise down as they do tie it up with those 2 free throws
Yeah,
by
Selby
Arthur
with
Selby, I believe.
yes, that was Selby. The 2 free throws there, tying it back up. And looking at both teams, we made some serious free agent acquisitions, both sides this last offseason. I mean, obviously Tennessee bringing in River. You talk about final experience.
Yeah, 100%. Like River has been had a very illustrious career so far, being able to be in so many finals this early on in his career. As we get a quick miss there, as Montana has a chance to extend this lead as Cross goes over for a nice little finger roll and it's up and good.
I mean, 2 finals championships on 2 different teams with an opportunity for a third already is definitely not the norm for a player.
Yeah, especially being getting both of those championships on different teams, respectfully, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a chance for a third one on a third different team. I mean, collecting
It's
Thanos' Infinity Stones at this point.
exactly as the boy Williams going for a mid ranger, not able to get it down, but Crosby Sutters is able to get the layup and in. Like Sutters has been able to revive his um, career here ever since leaving Santa Ana and being able to go into the Howlers and really become a huge staple within the paint for the Howlers as they do extend the lead back up to 4. And right now, Tennessee trying to find something going on, and we do get a quick foul there on Sutters, and that'll be his second personal.
Yeah, and Sutter's another player that has experience in the finals, obviously winning back with Santa Ana back in the day, 2015, right before his career moved on to at the time, were the Edmonton Totems. You know, he did take that year off and came back in 2019, and you know, he's kind of finally found a place in Montana, maybe to finish out his career and a chance to add a second ring to his collection as well as Lavoy Williams laying it up and in down low in the post.
Yeah, right now they're doing a lot of damage right there within the post as they are up by 5. We'll see if Tennessee's able to try and match that. And we do see a quick pass to Brigger Kane. Good screen, going for the 3, and it's going to be hitting the side of the rim as Cross gets the rebound.
Yeah, and you look at Montana, this is an extremely young team. I mean, we talked about some free agent acquisitions. They brought in Birdie, they brought in Callum, both third-year players. So we see another free throw opportunity will be had. But then again, they also have, you know, Leanna Cross, not been in the league that long either. Let me see, I believe she's in her 3rd or 4th year. 2019 undrafted player. So no, actually this is her 4th year in the league. You know,
Yeah,
Sutters.
and I gotta say that, like, oh,
I was
go
going to say
ahead.
Sutters is literally the only one with serious experience on this team. St. Croix is a 2018 player.
Yeah, I gotta say that even though that this is a very young team, it seems that they're very well built, especially with those acquisitions that really kind of pretty much went for their unit, continue to be one of the top teams in the league. And right now they're showing it here, but of course, as I say that, we do get a quick finger roll there from Selby as they're now only down by 5 once again, but they do need to get a stop here if they want to go ahead and get some momentum going on their side. And right now, St. Croix being able to lay it up, but it's not going to be good this time, so they do get a stop here as now Selby bringing it up to the other side, trying to go for a mid-range, gets the foul, and 1. So we do get a chance to see an old-school 3-point play to see if they can cut this deficit down to 2. Great effort there by Selby.
Yeah, and it was thanks to the defense on the other end from Luther Kierkegaard, helping shut down the polar bear, getting the opportunity for Tennessee. And as the N1 is made, 2-point possession here, a little under 3.5 minutes gone in this game.
Yeah, and right now, this seems to be a very defensive heavy as we're already down with the 4 minutes. We get a quick layup, but it's good there for Montana as they're now up by 4. Lavoy Williams, 8 points so far.
Well, he's been getting it done
Really
in the paint.
doing the majority of the damage.
I'll say both teams have really been attacking the paint. We haven't seen a ton of 3-point spread yet. And, ooh, that's okay. I was going to say, if Sutter's got benched because of his foul trouble, if that had been Sutter's 3rd, Montana would have been in trouble, but thankfully it's on Dylan.
Yeah, now we get the easy shot there for River. He's me able to make the first one. And the second one is going to be good. So the deficit is now only down to 2 once again. 14-12 with about 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Right now, Callum hands it over to Cross. Nice dish there, and Selby has no choice but to foul. And, of course, he's a little bit frustrated with that one.
Well, yeah, it's some rabbit-on-rabbit violence. I mean,
and right now, the first one is going to be made there. We'll see if they'll be going back up to 2 possessions again with this second one. So you got to like how the crowd gets so quiet
Well, yeah, obviously. I
Do
mean,
we go ahead
if
and get
this
the
was in
second one?
Tennessee right now, we wouldn't be able to hear ourselves think.
Yeah, 100%. And that just really kind of shows how important the FBA finals are as a whole. The crowd just really doing their best to make sure that they give their team the ample amount of time to succeed. And we see a quick dunk there from River,
Well, not
giving a
just
real reason for the crowd to stay
well, not just
silent.
that, but you know, as a home team, you really don't want to let your opponents buy their way into the seats. You know, you got to defend home court. That means you need to show up and don't let any tickets get picked up by, you know, scalpers. Don't sell your tickets on the third party market, because you're just going to invite visiting fans in, and they're going to, you know, try and sway the game in their favor on your home turf.
And right now we get a quick layup there for Tennessee as they once again trying to find a way to perhaps tie this game, but they need to get a defensive stop here.
Yeah, I mean, they've all their defensive stops have been fouls essentially. It's Birdie, another basket there.
Yeah, Lavoy Williams doing a really good job offensively, really taking advantage of the mid-rangers that are given to him. As right now, River. It over to Creer. Hands it up to Burt Kane. Get a quick screen. Right now, Burt Kane have to go for a tough shot there, and it's not going to go good as Lavoy Williams does get the rebound.
And Birdie just loves driving to the basket. The Rue able to elevate, dunking it down.
Birdie really doing some damage right now within the paint as he's got his 12 points, and the Moonshiners will be forced to call a timeout as they are down by 6.
Well, I don't think it's being down by 6. I was going to say, it's not the down by 6 part that's probably bothering them right now. It's the Birdie problem, because they're not being able to stop the Rue from driving to the paint.
Yeah, 8 out of his 12 points so far has come within the paint, really just using a lot of force getting in there, taking advantage of those open lanes. And right now, they really got to do a better job of trying to contain him, because right now he has scored 12 of the 22 points as Shelby goes for 3, and it goes in very easily. And just like they cut the deficit right down in half with that basket.
Yeah, Selby, we've seen in the three-point contest, is a threat. You know, you can't ever count out the rabbit from beyond the arc. And, you know, he's kind of an all part of the floor scorer. You know, we see him dunk it down. We see him extend it beyond the three-point line. You know, more of a modern player, able to stretch the court on all ends. And that makes him dangerous. And being able to dish the ball down on the post into Aldrich for the layup is good as well.
Yeah, now Tennessee is really knocking on the door, possibly taking the lead for the first time this game. We'll see if they get a stop here as Cross passes it over to St. Croix, who hands it over to Williamson. Callum. A lot of passing going on for the Shiners as Lavoy Williams has it. Goes for the quick drive. Tough basket, and it goes in. What a great shot there from Lavoy. Oh, excuse me.
Well, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure
Williams.
If we ask Birdie about that, he's going to say that, you know, his dance experience helps him keep his balance in the air like that, because that was a bit of a circus shot, no doubt, as Luther, cleaning up the miss, is able to get the second chance bucket.
Yeah, right now, even though Montana is still trying to keep ahead, Tennessee is not going to go down without a fight as we get a quick layup then for Schlock. As they're once again up by 3, we do see the benches starting to clear, so I imagine the next break we'll see a massive change in lineups between both these teams.
Yeah, and you have to wonder
right
how
now, River. Ooh, River gets blocked there.
Yeah, big block. I was going to say, you have to kind of wonder how the Sutter is being subbed out so early due to foul trouble is going to mess with Montana's rotation. They've held together their scoring with Dillon on the floor. But we have to see if they bring Sutters out with the B team just so he can have some minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And right now we get another miss there from Montana as Tennessee could have a chance to tie it or perhaps cut the deficit down to 1. It's River trying to find a shot, but it's then dishes out to Roy Creer. Get a quick pass there from Selby. Selby got an open lane and be able to dunk it down with ease as the Howlers now have to call timeout as they're now having a Selby issue.
Yeah, Selby. It's not just a Selby issue. I think Montana's actually starting to show some gas. You know, they're starting to run a little low on the tank. And, maybe they want to get those bench players that they've been sitting for a minute or two. You can only go 100% for so long before the mistakes start to slip in. And I think they've made their choice. And Selby is going to stay out on the floor. He's been the spark plug for Tennessee, as was Kierkegaard. Both of them will stay out. And Montana, I think, will keep one or two starters as well just to counter them.
Yeah, 100%. And as we are getting down to the final stretch of this first quarter, see, as the second unit does come into play, we'll see how well both these teams are going to be doing as we get a quick miss there from Montana as Kierkegaard does get the rebound. And right now, we dunk there as Selby once again taking advantage, finding that open lane and going for that quick drive. And Tennessee has the lead for the first time this game.
Yeah, the Rabbits stepping up and elevating. And I was actually incorrect. Montana has not kept any of their starters on the floor. And Tennessee, it looks like they want to go with the Kierkegaard-Selby combo.
Yeah, and it has worked very well so far. They have a chance to try to extend this lead as Sharp lays it up, and it's not going to be good, but Kierkegaard able to come in and clean things up.
And that jackalope, that's his second offensive rebound and fourth second chance point so far tonight.
So far, both of these teams is just going grid for grid, but right now Tennessee is really trying to one up the Howlers here as they're able to take advantage of the two starters staying in. Right now, Selby going for a tough three, but it hits the side of the rim, and Brooks is able to get this rebound. And right now, Rendall hands it back over to Brooks. Lots of passing once again for the Howlers. So far, we're seeing Dunbrock trying to go for a tough mid-range, and it's going to be good there. So Montana, once again, got the lead.
Yeah, and you have to wonder with Montana, they have Tennessee is not lacking in bigs by no means, but Montana definitely is flush with them. They have St. Croix, Sutters, Barnaby Dunbrock, Rodney Blackburn, Lawrence St. Martin. They have a lot of players that they can play big down in the post. As we see right now, we have a 7'5" Blackburn and a 7'4" Grizzly Bear and Dunbrock shutting down the post.
Woo! You get a quick block there for Tennessee, and now Montana is going to have to try and chuck one just to get one out, but it's not going to be good. But Blackburn's able to pick it up and clean it up real well. So great offensive effort there for the Howlers as they do extend the lead back up to 3.
Yeah, and I think that's where Tennessee's going to need to rely on Kierkegaard a lot. Oh, great interception there by Jones. Baptiste and Cassidy Whitelatch are the only two other centers, and Baptiste is 6'9", Cassidy is 6'11". Besides Kierkegaard, they are giving up some height in the position down along the post. And Blackburn, great interception, 2 turnovers quickly.
Yeah, now Montana has an opportunity to try to extend this lead. They weren't able to get the last possession, but we'll see if they extend it here as Blackburn has a really good defender on him, but instead dishes over to Brooks. Brooks gets the quick screen and goes for a tough mid-ranger, and it's going to be good as they're now up by 5, 34-29, with less than 24 seconds left of the game. There's only 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. So we'll see what Tennessee plans on doing here with this final possession, with the second to last possession, I should say.
I think it's going to be the final possession. I think they're going to wait till the clock burns down and just throw it up in the air.
And that seems to be the case, and it works very well there as Sutters is able to lay it, to be able to get that mid-ranger. Oh, and we get the quick, tough 3, and it's not going to go down. So at the end of the first quarter, Montana's going to be up by 3, 34-31.
Yeah, I have to worry, though. Selby was in there the entire first quarter, not even a chance to break. I think Kierkegaard was the same. You're putting a lot of pressure on those two to keep you in the game, but when, this third, fourth quarter rolls around, how much gas will be left in the tank for those two?
Yeah, that is true, but I do imagine at the start of the second quarter that they will take a chance to take a break, and it looks like that is the case here, as we do see Black bringing it up for the Moonshiners. And right now we do have Savoy Going for a layup, and it is not going to be good there as Blackburn does get the rebound.
That just feels bad, you know. Blackburn literally just reached over Savoy's back to grab that ball out of the air.
Yeah, 100% is Blackburn has the size advantage, but instead dishes out back up to Jones, and Jones finding a little bit of a lane, and Sharp has no choice but to foul him as Jones will go on the line for 2.
Yeah, that was one of the things that kind of calmed down in the second half of that first quarter. You know, we didn't really see a lot of foul trips to the line. Already starting off early again, though, in this second quarter.
Yeah, and right now we do get to see the second one, and it is going to be good there. Well, this is the first free throw, excuse me. So Montana will be up by 4. Jones not able to get the second one, so they're still going to be up by 2 possessions as they are only up by 4. We'll see if Tennessee has a little bit of an answer. As right now, you see Collins trying to find a way to get into the drive, but is defended very well, but he's still able to get it down there. As the Moonshiner is able to still keep the crowd very, very quiet so far. As right now, Montana's just telling them to try and get the noise back up. As we get a push over to Sutters. And a quick dish to Jones. Jones does get the screen. Passes it up to Blackburn. Blackburn going to have to go for a tough 3, and it's not going to be good. But Sutter's able to clean it up, but he's not going to be able to take it down.
Yeah, and he has to be careful. I mean, they're on defense. I imagine they're going to try and attack him. They'll try and get that foul. Ooh, Blackburn's going to get called for the foul on the block.
Yeah, but thankfully it's going to be his first personal, so they don't have to worry about it too much as Collins was trying to go for that quick drive there.
Well, honestly,
able to draw the foul.
Blackburn can afford to give fouls. I mean, again, coming off the bench, you know, the chances of fouling out in, 20 minutes is unlikely. The bench does have a little bit of a luxury of being able to play a tad more aggressively. We see it sometimes where coaches will bring in a player specifically off the bench to be a nuisance, to try and throw off the game of the opponent. And they can afford to throw away fouls.
Yeah, 100%. But now Collins has an opportunity to tie this game up, and he does do that with that second shot. So they are now up 35 apiece. And this is going to be very interesting to see how both of the second units really play out as Sutters hands it over to Jones. Jones laying it up, and it is going to be good.
Yeah, it's one of those plays that the ball doesn't even really touch the ground. Brooks to Sutters, Sutters to Jones. Easy layup in the paint.
Yeah, for sure. And now we get to see Black trying to lay it up, and it's good. So she's able to tie it up. And right now, both teams are very high in field goal percentage right now.
Yeah, I think it's because we haven't seen very much three-point shooting here tonight. You know, both teams relying on it in the paint. As Roth, second-year player, going to drive to the paint and lay it up and in himself for his first basket. Both teams 61% now.
Yeah, both teams really relying of being within the post, getting those baskets that way, and getting the quick cleanups as well. We get a tough miss there on the mid-range. And now Montana has a chance to extend the lead once again. And here comes Sutters trying to go for a spin move and is able to get it down despite the block attempt from, I believe that was Blight.
Bivens.
So now Montana's, Bivens. Okay, excuse me. That was up. Now Montana's up by 4, and now we're hearing the crowd starting to really get into it. We're going to try to get a quick layup, but it gets blocked there. Great block there from Blackburn as Montana has a chance to extend this lead once again. Now here comes Sutters with the mid-ranger, and it's good.
Yeah, Bivens, the rookie acquisition this year from Tennessee, 9th overall pick. Needing to step up here in his rookie year in the finals.
Yeah, right now we get another miss there from Montana as Roth gets the board. And so far, Montana's second unit's really showing out right here as Blackburn once again lays it up and in. Right now, Rodney Blackburn doing very well coming off the bench as he's 3 for 4 so far as he gets 6 points for the minutes that he has. Right now, Whitelocks going to lay it up, and it's good. Cassidy, longtime vet, doing what he does best. Right now, Blackburn going for that mid-ranger, and it is going to be good. So now Montana is up by 8, 47-39. We'll see what Tennessee has to do to try and cut this deficit down. It's not going to be good there, and Brooks gets the board. Sutters hands it over to Blackburn. Blackburn is going to get fouled there by Whitelatch. As he will go, Whitelatch, sorry. Going over for Whitelatch, he goes to the floor for 2.
You were substituting A's and O's there, buddy.
I mean, it happens to the best of us.
I think I
But
need
now
to
we're seeing a massive, massive changeup.
Are you telling me you need some
For both
glasses?
sides. Maybe. I mean, I am getting up there.
But yeah, Lady Black attacking the post in the last possession, is getting surrounded by the defense. They need to help her out a little bit more. I mean, she is very speedy in getting to the post, but when you have a 7'5" Blackburn guarding you, it's very difficult for someone Lady Black's size to find a lane to the basket.
Yeah, 100%. And right now, Montana's now up by 10. We need to see how well the starting lineup is back on the floor. We'll see if they're able to try and clean up this mess that has been made in the second unit. Burger King goes for a tough 3, and once again, it's going to be missed as Cross gets the rebound. Hands it over to St. Croix. Croix hands it over to Lavoie. Back over to Croix. They're trying to find a way to get into the paint so far, but they're being denied very hard so far as Blackburn does get the screen. And Lavoie going for the quick layup, and it's good.
Yeah, I think they're trying to find a way to get Birdie firing on all cylinders again.
Yeah, Lavoie Williams is just picking up where he left off, just sitting down on the bench. And now Montana's up by 12. We get a quick foul there on St. Croix as we do need to see some free throws on the Shiner side. The first one does go down there for River. And the second one goes down as well. So they do cut the deficit down to 10 once again, but they need to find some way to stop Montana defensively because right now things are getting a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, double-digit lead. You don't want to see that continue into the end of the quarter, but St. Croix down low in the post, able to just turn around, lay it up and in. It's going to be really tough to put a stop to them, and if they don't start finding, stretching the defense. And Selby and Kierkegaard still on the bench recovering from their first quarter minutes.
Yeah, and that's going to be a really big thing here as River is able to get the mid-ranger. You'd imagine that they have to rely on Michael River to step up for the team to try and get them back into this game somewhat. As we get to see a quick lob there as Montana really just showing up some highlight reels so far into this game.
Yeah, Dylan back in for Sutter. Sutter's getting another chance to kind of rest, avoid some foul trouble potentially.
Yeah, and right now, again, great defense there from Montana, and Lavoie Williams hands it over to Williamson. And right now we get across, trying to find a way to get an open lane. But instead, trying to dish it back out, but it gets stolen there by Roy Creer. Very much needed turnover position, but it gets blocked there by Black. Black trying her best to try and get some kind of points up there, but Croy is not having any of it as she's able to get the rebound.
Yeah, Lady Black literally trying to fight a mountain of a polar bear there, and the fact that she was able to get a second opportunity for that shot was good heads-up play, but maybe needed to kick it out to a three-point shot opportunity in the transition.
Yeah, for sure. Right now we get to see a three-pointer there. Not going to go down there for Montana. So Tennessee has a chance to cut this back down to 10. But a very a very unforced turnover there for the Shiners as one of their players stepped out of bounds during the transition. So Montana will have a chance to extend the lead once again. And we do see some substitutions there on the Shiners side as Savoy and Shark comes in. Yeah, right now, cross. Look it over to St. Croix. St. Croix decides to dish it out over to Cross. A lot of passing there from Montana as Williamson tries to go for I believe that was a long two, but it's not going to be good there. As Corey Creer is waiting for the offense gets set up. He's trying to go drive in, but gets fouled there by Williamson. And that'll be his second personal as we do see the Shiners going on the line for 2.
Yeah, keeping in within 10 should the second one go. But the thing is, they haven't been able to whittle away at it. They need to start converting off of some of these Montana mistakes.
100%. There's got to be some things that they have to do to try and clean things up here, as Montana is really have gotten full control ever since the second quarter really started. And right now we have a mid-ranger trying to go down, but it's not going to be good there, as the Howlers are finally in a drought, but Tennessee has not been able to capitalize because of the mistakes that they've made. And again, we're seeing another tough shot, and they do cut the deficit down with that one. I believe that was Lavoy Williams with the basket.
I think it was Cross, actually, but no, the deficits, I mean, they ended the drought. And that's the sad thing is, they had a 2-minute drought, and Tennessee wasn't able to pull it back. That's the perfect opportunity to do so.
Yeah, and that's mainly because of the mistakes that they've been doing on the offensive end, having those very bad turnovers and not really be able to take advantage. We do see a tough 3 once again, not going to go down, as we get St. Croix being able to continue to extend this lead, and the Moonshiners are forced to take a second time out, as all the starters for Montana is just getting anything that they want so far offensively.
Yeah, and it's just the transitions back to defense and these fast break opportunities is not there. We had someone trying to block a polar bear from the basket that was half her size. It just wasn't going to work. I mean, we see more substitutions. Kierkegaard finally back in, but Selby still on the bench. The Rabbit really needing to catch his breath. We might not even see him this quarter.
Yeah, considering that he was playing for the entirety of the first quarter, it's really a tough situation, considering that this game's kind of running away from them. But it looks like they are going to be able to cut the deficit down just a little bit, as they're only down by 12 now. But the Tennessee has to find some kind of offensive spark when Selby is not on the floor, because if they don't, this might be a very quick series if Tennessee isn't careful.
Well, not just that, they need to be shutting down Montana right there. You saw St. Croix was in a great opportunity, a great position for a rebound, but missed it. But no, Dunbar. Oh, the Bear going to intercept that alley-oop attempt, and that's a turnover that's going to hurt Tennessee.
Yeah, again, another turnover there for Tennessee. We've seen that a lot these past few possessions, as we get to see St. Croix doing what she does best. She's able to get another basket, as Montana is now up 61-47. This is not looking very hot here for the Shiners. They need to find a way to get back into the groove of things, as Burger Kane tries to go for a mid-range, and it goes in and out against St. Croix, as Rendall going for a long 2, but it hits the side of the rim, and Creer gets the rebound. So right now, I do think that Tennessee needs to try and slow down the pacing a little bit, because they're trying to force a shot to be made here. As right now, we get a huge block there for St. Croix, but she's going to get called for the foul, though, and she can't even believe that.
And that's her third. St. Croix now 3 personal fouls. I mean, they might pull her out. They're not going to pull her out. I'd be shocked if they pulled her out with a minute left to go, but they will. They don't want to risk a 4th one before the 3rd quarter. Sutters will be back in.
And Burger King missing one of the 2 free throws. So right now, Tennessee is only really getting their points from the line, but they need to do a lot more as Montana is just looking to try and continue to run away with this as they do get the stop here. We'll see if they're able to take advantage of it as Burger King heads over to Selby, and Selby laying it up, but it gets blocked from behind. So great defensive effort there by Rendishi as
Rindal.
Williamson.
Madge Rindal.
It's
The
okay,
rookie
I probably need
bird.
to order some reading glasses. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna beat
I
me
might
up
need to
after
order
the
some
game.
reading glasses. Oh yeah, you got something. But yeah, Rindal headed over to Don Brock as Crosby. A lot of passing there from Montana as we get to see Rindal try to go for 3, but it's not going to be good. But Don Brock comes in and cleans things up real quick.
And that's just a rough end. Selby's going to throw it up, and it was close, but they're going to end down by 15 here going into the third quarter. And Montana, that extra day rest that they had by ending the series in 6 might be the difference maker here tonight.
That might be it. It just really kind of shows that, honestly, it just seems like Tennessee just seems exhausted without Selby on the floor. And it's just been a very huge difference maker between the two quarters. First quarter, it was back and forth, both teams really gritting it out. But in the second quarter, Tennessee cooled off, and Montana's been able to just continue the onslaught offensively, especially within the paint.
Well, not just that. I mean, we saw both teams at one point were at 61 field goal percentage. You just saw that Tennessee now is down in the 40s, whereas Montana is still at 57. Montana has slowed down a little bit, but comparatively, Tennessee has struggled. The scoring for the starters for Montana has been pretty well split. Williamson hasn't really been too active in the field, but getting assists out and not turning the ball over. And it's been Lavoie, 16 points, 7 for 8. Blackburn coming off the bench has been a spark plug as well. We know letting Lavoie get some rest, putting 10 points up himself, and getting it done on defense as well. The rest of the bench not struggling too far behind. Sutters with his fouls is going to be something to keep an eye on, even though in his 8 minutes he put up 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 of those rebounds, all of them were offensive. So, getting it done in the paint as well on offense is his presence there is important. We switch over to Tennessee, and there's been some struggles. They're getting it done from the free throw line, but not necessarily from the paint. Kierkegaard, 3 for 3, perfect from the field, needs to be a little bit more involved, but absolutely a beast on defense. He has 3 blocks already. And, they've had, like I said, they had to rely on Selby. 13 minutes, 18 points. Pretty much every possession when he was on the floor was going through him, and River tried to step up a little bit, but we saw him making it to the free throw line multiple times. Needs to start contributing a little bit more even when Selby's on the floor, I think. And the bench definitely struggled.
Yeah, 100%.
Say the bench really just...
Yeah, I think that's kind of been the big answer here is the fact that the second unit of the Shiners was not able to be on pace with the Howlers second unit, and that's really kind of been the big thing here as Tennessee is trying to find a way to clean things up as Selby does get the chance to cut it down to 13. They need to get some good stops here to possibly get the momentum back on their side. And of course, quiet down this very rowdy crowd so far.
Yeah, and I feel like part of it is Tennessee's bench definitely feels like it's built more for defense. Burger King, Elijah Weber, even Roy Bivens, big bodies more so for defending the post. And they just weren't able to shut down the Montana second unit. So that's where the scoring fell apart. And, ooh, ball tipped out of bounds, stripped there by Williams.
Yeah, we'll be staying on the Moonshiners' end, but they only have 6 seconds left on the shot clock. So really good defensive effort there for Williamson as Selby gonna have to go for a tough fadeaway, and it's gonna go down. So Selby, once again, really just showing out so far as he has 22 points so far in this game.
Yeah, but they can't rely on him. He's not going to be enough to win as Lavoie elevates with the alley-oop.
Lavoie Williams is really just showing his star mentality so far, doing everything he can to get to the open lane with that easy dunk here as Selby trying to match, lay it up, but it gets blocked there by St. Croix. And right now, Montana has a chance to extend the lead once again as Sutters hands it over to Callum. Callum pulling it back a bit. Gets a quick screen. Has the space. With only under 5 seconds left on the shot clock, they had to do something with it as Sutter's going to go for a rare three, and it hits the front of the rim as Kierkegaard does get the rebound. And now River, once again, going to chance to go for an old school three-point play as he does get the shot and one. Well, Steve River was able to do that and trying to cut the deficit back down to 10, which honestly would be a great start for this first half of the game.
Well, of course, you had to jinx him a little bit.
He will not be able to do so.
Well, and I was going to say, Sutters on that last possession probably wishes that the statistician would remove it. You know, apparently Montana was playing hot potato with him, and he just got unlucky, forced to take a heave attempt. As Williams just continues to pound the paint.
Yeah, right now, Lavoie Williams doing everything he can right now within the paint, finding the open lanes that are given to him, and it's just taking advantage all day, every day, as now Tennessee is able to cut this down to 11 as we do look at the field goal percentages, and it is definitely a much different viewpoint since the last time we watched it, as Tennessee is now under 50% in the field goal percentage as River going up for a layup, and it's not going to be good, but he does get the rebound, and he does get the quick dunk. And now, for the first time, we do see the lead get cut down to single digits as Tennessee is looking to try and continue to have the momentum go their way.
Yeah, they finally got a little bit of a scoring drive. Ooh, a three-point opportunity. Selby going to get called on the foul there against Cross. She'll head to the line for an and one.
Yeah, and of course, before we get the shot out, we do get to see some major subs for both sides as Cross is going to be able to finish the old school three-point play as now Montana is once again up by 12, 70-58. But right now, you got to feel that the Moonshiners are looking to try and wake up a little bit as River hands it over to Collins. Collins does get the pass over to Selby. Selby able to get the screen, pulls it back, going for a quick shot, and it's not going to go down this time as now Montana has a chance to extend the lead once again.
Yeah, and you mentioned the subbing the bench, and Tennessee, hopefully they've had a talk with their bench and they've have a game plan going forward. As Sutter's pulling in his third offensive rebound, not able to make it work though.
Yeah, right now great defense ended by River as right now Bivens able to lay it up and in. So now once again they're down by 10 as Montana looking to try and keep the lead to their name, as right now we can see Cross not able to get it down, but is able to draw the foul on River, excuse me. So now Cross will be able to go on the line for two. First one does end up going down. We can see some major change-ups for both lineups. As we do see Selby get a break for a little bit as Black does come in. So we'll see if the second unit will be able to do well without Selby on the court, as they are down by a good margin.
I mean,
honestly,
honestly,
they hope to try and
I think they're gonna only go for like 5 minutes here. I don't think they can afford to keep the starters off the floor much longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Unless the second unit is able to go ahead and wake up here for these next few minutes to grant them a chance to extend their time on the court. They need to get these much important stops. As right now we get to see a tough shot there, and it's not going to be good. And we get to see Bivens with the rebound, and that's what you would like to see there if you are a Shiners fan. As Lady Black pass it over to Bivens. Bivens trying to lay it up, and it is going to be good there. So they do cut the deficit down to 10 once again.
I mean, look at
As
the
we got to
stats
look
right
at there
there.
for the 24% field goal percentage. That is a very atrocious and something that you really don't want to see for any team. As we do get a quick foul there by Whitelatch. And Montana will go ahead and try and extend this back up to 12 with these next couple of free throws.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're Tennessee, your goal right now is to, by the time you want to bring your starters back in, honestly, get down to a single-digit deficit, because, Montana's also going to be playing that game of when do we bring our starters back in, full force, and the sooner you bring it in, the sooner they'll run out of gas at the end of the game. And if the lead's too big, it might not even be worth bringing them back in, because you don't want to risk injuries in the finals just because you went after, a 30-point deficit trying to make a comeback, only to have Selby tweak an ankle or something.
Yeah, right now we have Roth getting called for the foul for this one, as the first one is going to be missed there. So, and that's another thing we got to look into, is the fact that Tennessee has taken a lot of free throw shots in this game. It's just that it seems like that's the only way they've been able to get any kind of offensive points throughout this entirety of the game. But
I mean, I think if we look once the game ends, the number of possession difference is both misses there.
Yeah, not a good look there for the Shiners, as really every point kind of matters so far as we hit the halfway point of the third quarter. You expect this to be a very tough time, as Brooks tries to go for the quick up, but it looks like Black is going to call for the foul there, as Cross was trying to go up for a layup. So that will see the Howitz looking to extend this lead, and they will do so with the first basket.
And the game's slowing down now as fouls starting to trickle back into the game, and both sides getting their fair share each.
Yeah, and Cross will be able to get the second one, as now they're up by 14 once again. The Shiners is trying to find some kind of answer here offensively, as Black trying to go for a drive, but instead has to go for a tough mid-ranger, and it's not going to be good there. And so far, it's looking like something that we've seen similar before to the second quarter, as right now Tennessee's second unit has not been able to find the spark that they need to try and keep it a game. So far, as they do get the stop there, but we'll see if that can do better for here on the other end.
And I mean, they have two rookies that they could potentially rely on to be the spark, but this is, as we see Dylan fouling one of them, this is a very challenging time for both of them. As rookies, you're in the finals in your rookie year. That is a very high pressure situation you're finding yourself in, as Collins not able to make the second.
Yeah, I think for any rookie that are in these situations, it's very difficult to kind of handle, as they do get the quick miss there, as Whitelatch does get the rebound. And especially in an environment like this, Montana is very well known to have one of the most rowdiest crowds, as I mentioned prior to the game. And it can be a lot on you mentally, as Savoy loses the ball there, and we get to see Brooks taking it with a good steal, as Montana once again has a chance to extend this lead. And right now Don Brock's trying to lay it up, and it's not going to be good there, as Whitelatch able to get the rebound. That was almost disastrous there for Tennessee, as that turnover could have really set the tone even more so than what it was before.
Yeah, like I said, Tennessee struggling here as defense keeps
Ooh.
stepping up for Montana. Big block there, and now Montana, they don't want to wait for the shot clock. They want to attack, and Roth is going to get to the basket.
And why not, right? They've got the extending of the lead. They can continue to try and stack up as much points as possible to make it to the point where it's darn near impossible for the Shiners to really come back from. But right now, Tennessee trying to do the most of that they can, but another miss there as another rebound for the Howlers, and they aren't able to get the shot down on the other end. So now Tennessee trying to get something going as Collins hands over to White Latch. Latch hands it over to Collins. Collins trying to go get something in the paint, and he is able to get that down. So Jakura Collins, 7 points so far into this game.
It might actually be the highest score off the bench for them.
Yeah, for sure. As we get a quick rebound now for Weber. Sharp is handed over to Collins. And right now, the Shiners almost losing the ball there as White Ledge is able to pick it up as Weber going for a tough three, and it rattles in.
That is not normally his range, but you're going to leave him that wide open. He's going to take the shot at least, and that actually is a big swing back in Tennessee's way. They are back to 10 points here now. It is not impossible for them to make this comeback, and I think this timeout might actually be the opportunity they're using. Montana might be trying to bring in their starters back in just because they can't afford to let them get going. But no, it looks like they wanted to bring in Randall, the rookie. And, well, yep, they did bring in a few starters, it looks like, on both sides.
Yeah, both sides really trying to get things back. As you said, the Shiners really need to get back within like a 10-point deficit or at least single digits. But now Dunbrock does get called for the foul. Well, Dunbrock does draw the foul, excuse me, as Savoy gets his personal.
Yeah, and that's a good foul.
But the first one is going to be missed.
First missed opportunity there. Savoy really had no chance to block the Grizzly Bear. So making the Bear go the line for free throws is probably the higher percentage play. I mean, it sucks he came away with 1 point, but a dunk would have been a guaranteed 2 pretty much.
Yeah, that's exactly going to be the case. Is Tennessee hoping to try and get this down within single digits as they're only down by 11. And right now, we're seeing some quick drives there, and we had a quick block there. Once again, Montana looking to try to go for the fast pace as Jones able to lay it up, and it is good. And right now, the Howlers trying to pick the momentum back on their side once again as Creer ends over to Burger Kane. Burger Kane trying to dish it to the paint, but it gets taken out by Dunbrock. Dunbrock doing the fantastic job so far defensively as he gets another turnover.
And the Bears'
and
paws
Montana is...
I'll say the Bears' paws are very active in the post. I think that's his second time intercepting a pass like that.
Yeah, right now Burger Kane trying to zoom right past his defender, and he does lay it up and in. Plus, he get a chance for an old school three-point play.
Yeah, that's one way to help kind of kill the momentum a little bit. Montana still, though, in the driver's seat here, a 12-point game with only a minute and some change left in this third quarter. And behind the back pass to Sutters. A little fancy there.
Okay. Yeah, that's just, now they're just trying to do brownie points so far into this game because now they're up by 14 as right now Montana is just kind of on cruise control at the moment. Meanwhile, Tennessee is just struggling to find any kind of basket offensively as now Callum getting the nice screen. Trying to find a way to get into the paint. And it's not going to be good this time as Corey Creer does get the rebound. And now Tennessee may have to rely on trying to go a little bit to more relying on threes as That is going to be the attempt, but it's not going to be good there, as we are going to be entering the final possession here in this game, as
In the quarter.
see a lot of passing. Well, in the quarter. Excuse me.
There's no mercy rule in basketball.
That is fair. As Williamson goes for 3, and it's not going to be good. So at the end of 3, we see that the Howlers are up by 14 in game 1 of the finals, 85-71.
And tough situation for the Moonshiners here. I mean, they at least held it together through the third quarter, but after that second quarter, they have not made any significant ground up.
Yeah, right now, if there's any time to pretty much start some kind of run, it is now, and it has to do with trying to get a stop here, and that's not going to be the case here, as Montana once again really just doing anything that they want here, as they're now up by 16. Tennessee has to do something here. Selby goes for a 3, and it rattles home. Very wide open, too.
Well, that was just off a screen. A good drawn-up play, nothing too fancy. Get open, get a 3, and get home. And now it's just coming down to their defense, because they can score. They can start hitting the 3s if they want, but it's going to be so difficult to make up the ground, especially when Sutters and St. Croix just keep bullying their way in the post.
100%. Right now, the size advantage has really become the biggest issue so far defensively for the Shiners. And they need to find a way to go ahead and get them stops. But, of course, getting on fire offensively is also a really good thing, as now we're seeing both manageable field goal percentage, as Montana's down to 53% for the game to compared to Tennessee's 47%. As we're going to see another miss there from Montana. So Tennessee...
Oh, a charge.
A charging foul. I'm a little surprised about that one.
Callum selling it well, maybe taking some acting classes, able to get the call against Lucas Berger-Kane. And that's a turnover that absolutely kills Tennessee's momentum.
100%. So with that in mind, it seems like that Montana has an opportunity to go ahead and extend the lead once again. But it really kind of just depends. Tennessee needs to get a stop here if they want to continue here. There's not a lot of time left. It's a wild shot, and it's not going to go down as Berger-Kane does get the rebound. Some good stop there for Tennessee.
Well, they practically double-teamed Callum, but they left St. Croix wide open. It had that ball bounce the wrong way. It would have been an easy opportunity for a second chance. But Selby, fourth foul against Callum, but Selby's going to go to the line for an and one.
Yeah, and now your starting point guard may have to... It's a little bit worrisome right now, as we're only 2 minutes into this quarter. But I have to say that it's going to be interesting how things are going to play out here, as Cross does bring it up, heads over to Lavoie.
Oh, 100%. They're going to attack him because they need to get him with 5 fouls as soon as possible. Make Tennessee have a conundrum of, do you keep Callum in or do you try and save him for the final couple minutes of the game? And the foul there will send Birdie to the line for 2, adding to his total for the night.
Yeah, and right now Montana is really just trying to make this game unreachable for Tennessee. But there's still plenty of time left in this game, but they do need to continue trying to be offensive. As I say that, Selby got an easy open layup with that screen as he dunks it down, as they're now once again only down by 10. They just need to continue to try and get those much-needed stops, as we get another screen there. Lavoie Williams go for another tough shot, and he once again finds a way to get it in. This dude is magical so far with his movement.
Yeah, the Swing Furs both showing off tonight, both of them being so key for their teams. And, it's just been Birdie's had a bit more support. And River now.
Yeah, right now, River.
Well, I'll say River trying to step in.
Yeah, River trying to turn up himself, and he does get the mid-ranger, as they're now bringing the deficit back down to 10. Montana trying to get some noise going, trying to keep that lead at a very respectable distance. It's Cross going for a mid-range, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, she's at 15 points here tonight. Not too shabby from the Rabbit.
Yeah, right now Cross. Oh, excuse me. Creer head over to Selby. Now River. You can imagine him trying to get some going as Selby goes for another three, but it's gonna hit the front of the rim as Cross hands it over to Williamson. Williamson going over to layup, and it's no good. Williamson got another opportunity, but it's not gonna go down there as Creer. Great defense there. He does get the rebound. And so far, River passes it over to Creer. The Shiners need to get a basket here as we're under 8 minutes left of the game. And right now, Selby. A lot of passing here for the Shiners. As Bivens going for a tough three, and he's able to get it down there. And now the lead is within single digits. And Montana is forced to call a timeout after that basket.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little concerned. Still, they have possession. They have an opportunity to push it back to double digits. But at the end of the day, there's 8 minutes left to go in the game. You don't want to see a turnover result in a quick play that shrinks this gap. Coach is probably telling them to play really smart. Don't take any silly risks. Easy lanes to the basket. Well, I just say that, and then there's going to be a turnover opportunity. But, they stripped it back. Oh, and a foul. Okay, River gets called for the block. I was going to say, did Sutters get charged with a charging foul? But no, it's going to go the other way.
Yeah, very scrappy play there for that possession as Montana and Tennessee are just trying to find a way to be a little bit more scrappier here as the boy Williams does get the thing, get a quick screen, and be able to take a good advantage of it. But it gets blocked up by Kierkegaard, but it doesn't matter there as the boy is able to pick it back up and lay it back up in anyways. It just seems like they have all the stops here. No matter what, the boy's going to find a way to get around it.
Well, and that's just some heads-up plays. Selby going to hit three, choking the lead down even more. But, as a player to get blocked and then to have the mindset of, okay, I'm going to shoot again immediately, even though this player just blocked me, that takes a fearless kind of mindset to have. And not every player has as Williamson going to answer with a three of his own.
Yeah, and they hit the century mark with that shot as they're now up by 11. The crowd is going insane so far with that shot. And right now, Williamson not being able to do very good offensively as far as this game, but that one really made a difference as now they have another chance to extend this lead again as Cross able to get the finger roll as she lays it up and in.
Yeah, 13-point game in Tennessee. You might feel them calling a timeout soon. It seemed like they were back in it, and suddenly, just like that, it's gone the other way, and another missed opportunity there.
Yeah, I'd imagine if this next basket gets made, you can imagine them calling a timeout here. As right now, Cross trying to go for the quick drive, lays it up, and it's in.
She just beat her defender there, so wide open, and Kierkegaard had no choice. He could not get off of St. Croix. He just had to put a paw up and hope he gave enough of a defensive effort, and another miss.
Another bad miss there for River, and right now, St. Croix is able to go ahead and get that quick dunk, and now just like that, the Howlers are up by 15, 106-89, and right now it's looking like the Moonshiners are just on cold feet, but Selby not going to give up without a fight as he does make the three there, but it's going to be much more difficult to try and get these things cleaned up as we get to see a quick turnover there by Bivens. So right now the Shiners trying to make some noise happen, but it gets stolen there from Sutters from behind. Great pause there by Sutters. All right, now Cross and over to St. Croix. St. Croix going it up, and it's good.
And a foul on top of that, just to rub some salt in the wound.
Yeah, and right now you can just see the entire body language of the entire Moonshiners team as they just seem just completely drained here as the Howlers.
90 seconds ago, this was an 8-point game 90 seconds ago. And now it's a 17-point game. Like, nothing is going their way suddenly. It's like they stepped on every crack on the way out of the timeout, and it's falling apart for them.
Yeah, and now a 3-second chalk, a 3-second violation there on Tennessee. So the Howlers are to extend the lead once again, and they are going to do that. And they're at this point they may break 20 points as we're only about 4 minutes left of the game. And honestly, from how this is going, I can imagine this might be that might be the game as the Void Williams try to go for a teardrop, but it's not going to go down this time.
Yeah, you have to imagine if Tennessee can't get this back to close to single digits in the next like 2 minutes, they may pull their starters just to prevent any kind of untimely injuries. Save them for tomorrow's game. Montana's just been too hot tonight.
Yeah, and the Void Williams, 32 points in this game. This dude literally is having the game of his life so far in this opening game of the series, as right now Selby pulling it back a little bit, trying to drive into the paint, and he is going to get it down though, but they're going to need a lot more. They need to get a stop offensively, as he has 38 points of his own, almost 40.
It's not enough. It's not enough tonight.
It really isn't, because we got players like St. Croix being able to go ahead and dunk it down pretty easily.
Well, the Polar Bear, just dominating the post like normal. She's ever since coming in the league in 2018. Replacing Sterling on this team has been a serious key component of their success.
100%, and right now Selby is going to get 40 points of the 98, but I think with less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, I imagine that this might be the final stretch we see for both of the starters respectively, as right now Williamson gets the quick screen, lays it up, and it's good.
Absolutely split the defenders there. And honestly, even though Tennessee, you see their field goal percentage has gone up compared to the first half, it just isn't enough here. And like I said, I feel like both teams are going to kind of start chilling down. Montana's definitely going to burn the clock. Or, they'll just use a fast break opportunity because Sutter's, no one is in his way to the basket. And now that timeout, I completely imagine both teams, as we break 21 points here, will be bringing in some of their bench players.
100%. I think that at this point, it's safe to say that Montana has gonna go ahead and take the lead of the series, as again, it just seems like that the Shiners had no answer for the for the attack in the paint, as majority of the points have come from there, as we are seeing the second unit for both sides coming in.
Well, I want to look at the quarter stats, because honestly, Tennessee was there for 3 quarters. I think that second quarter alone has been what sunk them. 24% from the field is just not enough. There needs to be something more than that, and it'd be one thing if they were able to induce that kind of a deficit in Montana, but their defense has not been able to shut down Montana at all here tonight.
Yeah, 100%. That second quarter really kind of set the tone here for the rest of this game, as Lady Black is able to get the mid-ranger, so she does cut the deficit down to 17. But it's because when you look at the percentages, they're pretty even. It's just that the second quarter was really abysmal, and not to mention the fact that Tennessee has made some pretty costly turnovers down the stretch, making some pretty sloppy fouls as well. It just really wasn't one of those games where Tennessee was at their best.
Yeah,
so far
I think it's just that quarter alone, and I think Montana's going to burn a lot of the clock here, and Tennessee will probably have the last possession.
Yeah, most likely, but I don't imagine them making a shot here, as we get to see a quick shot there, and the shot clock is now turned off, so you can hear the ovation from the Howler crowd, as we do see that both teams are looking to pretty much end this off. We do get a final shot there for Tennessee. It's not going to be good, as Yamashita does get the rebound, and that's going to do it here in Montana, as the Howlers are now up 1-0 here at the FBA Finals.
Yeah, I think Tennessee really wanted to avoid being down by 20 to end the game as we dive into the stats. And Williamson, very quiet night, but 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Cross, 19 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, doing a little bit of everything. St. Croix, 6 points, 3 blocks, stepped it up defensively in that second half. But there you go, Birdie, player of the game, easily 32 points. Sutters also, even though he struggled with fouls early, was able to contribute 12.6 rebounds. And then it was just the bench. I mean, the bench for Montana was absolutely solid, uh, contributing not one person alone contributing, as we see Blackburn and Dunbrock both putting up over 7 points each and getting it done defensively as well. As we will switch on over to Tennessee, and Tennessee, it really came down to one player, Selby putting up all the points, and he had some support as the game went on in the third quarter, but that second quarter was just absolutely dismal for Tennessee, and the fact they were able to recover from that and put up a good show and bring it back within 8 there in the final 6 minutes definitely shows some grit. We'll have to see if they can take away anything from this game and bring it into game two to try and steal one on the road here before heading home for their 2 games.
Yeah, 100%. I think that this was definitely a little bit of a wake up call for the Moonshiners, as just because they have been able to push a lot of the higher seeded teams to their limits to get here, it doesn't mean it's going to be very easy coming on the road, especially for a team like the Howlers. As looking at some of these stats, you can tell that this was definitely one of those games that um was really kind of been played by that one quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we saw there they were down by 12 points in that second quarter, and in the end, the stats really weren't that abysmal comparatively. Obviously, Tennessee really stretched it. They actually were hitting their threes great in the second half. As you see, Montana really didn't need to attempt that many. They were making it to the free
Hmm.
throw line well. The points in the paint went the Howlers' way. They just were so aggressive down there. And then in the end, the bench points, 13-point difference. And, they had extra opportunities thanks to their offensive rebounds. They had more steals. They had more blocks. Everything was defensively in their favor, really. And Tennessee just needs to clean up a little bit and be a little bit more careful with the ball. And I think they can give Montana a good run for their money and maybe even steal the game on the road.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that at the end of the day, one of the things that they're probably gonna have to do is just really have to rely on other starters to step up, because you can't just rely on Selby in this game, especially against a team like the Howlers. It's going to be one of those things where you do hope that somebody like River be able to step up as well, or even Kierkegaard being able to really challenge St. Croix, as those two pretty much go at it. As you can easily say that Croix had the better of that battle between the two.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at it, I have to say I think there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Kierkegaard. I kind of touched on it in the game that in terms of size, he's really the only one that can match up against St. Croix, Barnaby Dunbrock, Rodney Blackburn, and River against Sutters is going to be a great battle of experience. And we saw foul trouble starting to play a factor in here tonight. I mean, Sutters, it seemed like Montana had the depth to deal with it at the power forward position. I question on the Tennessee side if they have the same kind of depth should they fall into foul trouble as the series progresses.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be interesting how this is going to play out between these two teams, but of course, we still got uh possibly 3 more games to go,
Oh
hopefully
God,
even
no!
more
Don't
so, depending on
don't jinx us.
depending depending on how things go, of course. but we still got a plenty of games to play. It's still not over yet. It's only been one game. We'll see how the Shiners will be able to bounce back from this game, or will the Howlers be able to continue that momentum as we head over into game two? Still the same place. So we'll see how things go here. But for tonight, it has been good.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I've been Ryan Eastman. That was Marcus Baylor. Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.